small to medium, still on the scale of like farms in the country, it's 22 acres. So I've got about 6 full-time employees, although in the season anyway, and I'm down a couple today. So, but we all kind of wear different hats and do different things and pitch in and make it all work. We're just offloading. We've got over 7,000 oysters we just harvested out from the farm, which is just around the other side of that island over there. And we're headed back out. All right, so these are cages. I don't trap anything. I buy all my seed. Oysters are native to Maine, but they aren't prevalent enough or successful enough at reproducing in this particular area for me to make any money without buying seeds. So I'm not trapping anything. I'm buying it and I'm putting it in a cage. Each value of the cage is going to depend on the year class of the oyster and the density that's in the cage. Right now we're moving, these ones are market-sized oysters just to consolidate them on the rest of the lease. So in this particular cage, this is one of my most valuable cages. These are all market-ready oysters. So this is kind of what we were harvesting today. These are all counted out, nice, clean, beautiful Bar Harbor looking blondes. There's 100 in here.
So you purposely put 100 in there so you know that that's 100.
Yeah, so on Friday when we have to order, we come out here, I say we got to harvest another 10,000. We just come out and dump 100 of these bags into our market bags.
From seed to there, how long is that process?
About 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay,
there's a lot of work that goes into them.
This is 3 years of work that we're looking at.
That's right. Yeah, the number of times they're handled in 3 years is almost countless. We do have an app now. We've got a better idea of how many times we've handled them because of technology. But yeah, we will have some oysters that'll be market ready on their 2nd year this year. So some of that is just improving our grow out technologies. Some of that is sea temp increasing, things like that. So we will have some that are closer to 2 or 2.5 than 3. But that's pretty much what we're shooting for.
So that makes the counting a little bit easier because you already know there's 100 in each one of them then.
Well, it doesn't make the counting easier. We've already counted.
You've already counted.
Yeah,
You've already counted.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in the
so
way.
when we
and this is your typical size trap?
this is the only size cage that I have.
Oh,
yes.
cage. Excuse me. Cage. Yes.
You're not
cage.
clear yet.
Sorry. Cage. Yeah.
You're not the only one that does it. My mom still calls them traps.
Well, if Mom does it, then I don't feel bad. Okay.
I correct her too.
We went and had some breakfast with some lobstermen this morning, and they're like, "Yeah, we don't go out when it's raining." I'm like, "What? Like you work on the water?"
That depends on the price, I'd say.
Oh, okay.
We're Tuesday and Friday pretty much religiously, unless it's too windy to be safe.
Unless
basically.
it's too okay.
Yeah. Really hard lightning would keep us off, but most of the time.
Even if it's snowing, will you go out?
Oh yeah.
That's got to be beautiful.
Yeah, it can be. Yeah, lower and rip that way. So I've got 650,000 seed coming, and we make as much space, which would be about 6 strings that look kind of like this, and then it's got to be evenly spaced out. So we figure out about how many are in a liter and how many are going to go in each bag. The bag size, so I've got 4 different mesh size bags on the farm. This is our largest mesh size. This is an 18 millimeter. So this is for our largest, like our 2 and 3 year oysters. The mesh that the baby oysters, the oyster seed go in, is significantly smaller because they'd fall out of this mesh. So 9 to 13 millimeters is like a piggy fingernail. So when I buy 650,000 of those, it all fits in my trunk.
So is this all you too?
Yeah. So this is now like the 22 acre start.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've got about 850 cages, all of these long line strings, and they're all grown on the surface in the growing season. That's where the water is warmest. They're the most accessible, and we think they have the best flavor. So it's nice and clean. There's a lot of water flow. What it also allows us to do is flip the cages. Everything's on a rotation so that the cages get flipped every 3rd week, and that allows them to dry out in the sun a little bit and prevents things like algae and barnacles and skeleton shrimp and tunicates and mussel spat from growing on that. So there's a lot of stuff. It's called biofouling. Basically, it's like a weed in your garden. There. The surface grown is definitely kind of a different, a lot of people are surface growing now, but it ends up with a different flavor oyster than one that is grown on the bottom, because that can be a little bit more muddy, or will have more tannins from the soil or the sediment and that sort of thing. So a surface grown oyster tends to have like a cleaner, brighter profile because it's on the water with a lot more flow. chips off this edge a little bit, and that tells the oyster to put less energy into going out and more energy into going down. And that ends up with a more shapely oyster, so we're looking for an oyster that has a nice cup on it, and it also makes the shell stronger, which is good for shucking and also for like the survivor of the oyster.
Wow.
So it's kind of manicuring them, it's improving shell quality and shape, it's cleaning them, it's sorting them, and then you can see like these have a different mesh size. So this is the 18 millimeter. We're pulling out dead loss. So these are kind of the sorts here. But you can see like, I can hear there's a little bit of dead loss in there, but this is a smaller mesh size. So these oysters, once they go through, are going to get put back in a clean bag, and if they're big enough, they're going to jump from a 14 millimeter to an 18 millimeter bag.
Okay.
Yeah,
wow.
This is the second largest, size that we have on the farm now.
I think it's totally fascinating. And I like the term farming. You're a sea farmer. I like that.
Yeah. We don't quite fit in with fishermen. We don't quite fit in with like land farmers, but we're kind of the best of both, I think.
So it's a 6 or 7 year investment before you make a single dollar.
Yeah.
But I don't think people understand that.
It's really hard. I think it's one thing. I mean, a lot goes into fishing too, but at least when you catch lobsters, you can sell them the same day.
You can sell them the same day. Yeah.
I work with our regulators, but it is extremely difficult. Every single thing that we do requires permission. I mean, if I want a different type of anchor, if I want to change the diameter of a line, things like that. For me, one thing I'm working on now is actually kind of changing the shape of my lease a little bit, and it's a really lengthy process. I don't really need my lease to be any bigger, but what I've learned that I didn't actually understand fully, 10 years ago or over 10 years ago when I designed and picked the plots for the lease was the full topography of the ocean floor and how that was going to affect the way I needed to raise and sink. So I've got my lease extends all the way to like where those markers are and that marker and those markers, but that whole southern section of it, while I thought it was going to be nice and like the most protected and warmest, which it is too shallow for me to sink gear there in the winter.
If this is a medium, wow.
Right, what is the big one?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are worried that aquaculture is like getting big in Maine. All of the sea farms in the state of Maine would fit in Rockland Harbor. You know how much coastline we have? They would all fit in one harbor. That's tiny. You compare us to someone like Canada on a postage stamp.
Do you find your clients? Do they find you or do you find them? Or?
I mean, they find me now. When I first started having market oysters in 2017, and I was, taking bags of oysters around to fishmongers and restaurants and shucking them and saying, here they are, would you like any? And, here's me, and how'd that go? And once people started eating my oysters, they started looking for me.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Back to the sea.
I'm just amazed that it takes you 6 years
To sell an oyster?
No, I mean, it's like, wow, you would think the state would expedite the permitting process.
Thank you. Why don't you let them know?
Okay.
That sounds great.
We could use
some more. You have a message.
We could use some more hearing officers, expedited leasing processes. This is so sustainable. I mean, I'm not putting anything in besides seed that's being,
You're creating stuff.
That's right. That's right.
Is there anything in the federal that would be helpful, or is it all state government stuff?
I mean, in Canada, the federal government is subsidizing a lot of seafood and helping like things like that. I mean, if there were federal funds and grants that I could actually get that would help subsidize that, I mean, it's a hard knock. I can't afford to give my health insurance to my employees, like things like that. That it's like to be able to, if you're going to float 6 years and you need help and you need gear and you're just dishing out money, people, being able to subsidize a system that's creating local sustainable food.
No, but I mean, it doesn't take 6 years to open up a franchise, car dealership or an oil change place, and it shouldn't take 6 years to be able to create a farm. I mean, farming is the foundation of America. I mean, America was started, with farming, and I'm appalled that it would take 6 years to get to even not even make your first dollar. Just have the opportunity to make your first dollar.
That's right. I know there are a lot of people who are ask me like, would I continue to do this or would I do it again, knowing everything? And I'm like, I think I would. I mean, I'm glad that I'm here now, and I think that I was, in a position where I could do it. I just had the right kind of skills, and it was like the right time and the right place. And I think it's important. I mean, when COVID hit and there wasn't food on shelves, I had 20 acres of protein. I mean, it wasn't all market ready, but we had food. And it just made me realize how important it is to actually produce food on the planet, and hyper-local food. I mean, the fact that I've got a regular sized pickup truck with a reefer unit and it's all getting delivered within 15 miles that's important to me. And it's something that we can be proud of in Maine. Maine oysters are the best. Like we can grow some of the best oysters. So, you know, a lot of our seafood is up there with, you know, it's world class.
Massive amounts of hundreds of millions of dollars worth of fraud that we have found could, you know, a 10% of that could be a grant program to, you know, grow this industry.
There you go.
And the state doesn't even seem like they're paying any attention to it. I mean, it's just, I mean, this has got to be an issue that, you know, got to bring to Augusta. I mean, it really.
I think this we need a blue economy. I mean, that's some of the words that have been used. It's just like, yeah, if we're gonna keep, you know, feeding things, then yeah, we could use a little extra help for sure.
Wow.
For sure.
Amazing.
Yeah.